Hello, hello, and thank you for joining. My name is Sandra Jennings, and you have dialed into or you're watching Passion Speak, where we give those with a passion a platform to speak. Let's do a retake. That was a blooper. Anyway, today this is gonna make us all hungry. Um, I have the honor of presenting a real life chef, an award-winning chef. And so I'm going to bring him on. His name is Chef Charles. Chef Charles, you there? Hey,
Good afternoon.
how are you?
Doing well, thank you. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for joining us and talking about your passion of being a chef. I won't even say cooking because it's so much more than cooking. It's so much more, but I'm kind of excited about just hearing about it. I
It's my
never
passion.
say again.
That's my passion.
That's your passion. I never had a desire to be a chef. Oh my God, no. No. I barely cook. I shouldn't even say that on public TV, whatever. But I cook just enough to live, and that is it. My kids cook more than I do. But anyway, so yeah, I want to get into this. So so as I understand it, you went to culinary art school about 20 years ago, but that's not really where your story started.
Exactly. I went to culinary school in 2000, and
And
it seems like a long time ago.
but you recall we spoke earlier, and you were telling me that um it wasn't until you are it was in you even as a young child. Who brought you up? I mean, whose kitchen did you really learn in
You
outside of
know,
culinary art school?
grandma's grandma's kitchen. It's
Grandma's
like,
kitchen.
yeah, just watching grandma in the kitchen and grandma doing her magic. And whenever she was in there, everybody just migrated to the kitchen, and that was just the place to be. And all I could remember was the laughter and uh, going down memory lane along with the fabulous deal that Grandma was making.
Wow. Um Something that came out during our earlier conversation off camera was that you didn't realize how much you love doing what you do until you went to culinary art school. Tell us about a little bit about that.
I didn't know it was in me. And then I went to culinary school, and it was just all these memories of Grandma and the way that everybody would be in the kitchen and involved, and it was just a big family thing. So when I got ready to enroll in culinary school, it just brought back those fond memories, and something that I wanted to do with today was bringing back how there was no mobile phones, there was no people eating at different times and in different rooms. So it was all about gathering around that meal that Grandma cooked.
Okay. Um, Real quick, I want to share briefly. This is not queued up, so I'm just going to cue it up real quick. I want to share briefly some pictures from your award-winning chef. Ooh, look, this is some pictures from. Hold on, let's see if I can get a cleaner picture here. I want to look at some of the photos. I saw this photo and I'm like, what in the world? What is this?
So it was a private event for a dentist function, and they gave me a budget to do the place settings along with the dinner.
Okay. It's just it was beautiful, and I saw look at that kitchen. Oh my gosh.
That stove was imported from France.
It's just beautiful. So is this what you do on a regular basis as a chef? On look at that piece of meat. Lord have mercy, I love meat. I'm a meat eater. Um, we're gonna get to this, your awards that you've won, but first I wanted to look at some of these pictures of creations that you have. This is so beautiful. Look at
That's my rendition of chicken and waffles.
Oh, is it? It looks like eggs Benedict almost, or
There's eggs Benedict on the side of yes.
wow, that looks so amazing. And look at the antipasta. Ooh, that's a beautiful kitchen as well. That's a different kitchen.
Yes.
And this is a time when you were on talk radio. Um, And so, oh, look at this. I just wanted to just run through these pictures because I saw them and it just looked like such a work of art. Like I have heard that it is said that men, I don't know how true it is, and I'm a feminist, but men do a better job of presentation than women. Don't agree, don't disagree. Neither one of us is here to get in a fight with nobody else. I just think this presentation is beautiful.
Uh,
I will
I
say
am
that.
so I take pride in my work and in my art. It is an art form, and I think presentation is so important because first and foremost, people eat with their eyes before even indulging. So to have a beautiful presentation on top of it tasting appeasing, I'm happy.
Beautiful. So, so let's talk about your awards. What's the Dan? Well, before we go into that, we have a question. Danielle Smith. She's a regular. She watches our show, and she just for everyone else. Charles happens to be my cousin. He's located out of San Antonio, Texas, and Danielle is our cousin as well. What style of cooking? I don't think you've ever met Danielle.
I don't believe so. Her name
I
doesn't
think
sound
you've met her
familiar.
mother, though. You've met her mother.
Okay. Um,
So she's saying, what style of cooking do you create?
I get that so much, and mm, well, it's asked a little different. I get asked what's my favorite thing to cook, and I quickly respond whatever my client wants that evening.
Okay.
I have no favorite uh, to cook. I enjoy being in the kitchen uh, and just bringing that smile to my client's face when I bring that dish to them for that evening. So my favorite dish is whatever I'm cooking for my client at that moment.
Okay. So um, we were talking earlier about your awards. So tell us about you've gotten a few awards from San Antonio, correct?
One here and then one prior to here.
Okay. One here being here in San Antonio.
Yes,
Oh,
yes. So I took top chef in the region uh, in Indiana. I took top chef of the month here in San Antonio.
okay. Now, Indiana, you went to Ivy Tech in South Bend, Indiana. That's the school you went to for culinary arts.
Yes, it is.
And so, okay, so yeah, so that's the region, huh? And you
Yes,
took top chef of the month in San Antonio?
yes, I did. That's
Oh,
just a lot for someone that's independent.
is it?
Yeah.
And it's
With me
just
not
you.
when you're doing events like this, normally people go in with a full staff. And me being independent, I've always done it on my own.
Is that challenging for you?
It was feedback.
Is that I'm sorry, is that very challenging for you? You do it on your own? So do you hire people on a day of?
I I do subcontract out people. I have wait staff that I subcontract out. I have bartenders that I subcontract out. But as far as cooking, I've taken on uh, different up and coming chefs to help me out and do apprenticeship programs. Outside of that, after that first event that I went into in Indiana, I was actually doing it uh, for a friend that was doing a function, a benefit, and they wanted to have more chefs on the the planner. So I ended up going against my will to be a part of it. And when I got there, there were teams of chefs with their team, and So I was up against probably 20 different teams, and I came in by myself, and I ended up taking it.
That's good. Congratulations.
Thank
But
you.
looking at that meat, I can kind of, and the presentation, I it's justified. Put it that way. Um, we what else do we talk about? I'm just tell me what if someone was watching and they're really interested in going following in your footpath or any other chef's footpath, what would you recommend they do to get started?
Um, Start under a, so what I did was I've worked under a lot of uh, big name chefs, and I've worked with them for a while, and then I worked with another chef for a while, and how I came about so I took a little bit from each chef, and that's how I got my style. So I would take a little here, take a little there, take a little, and then I do an infused dish where I do like a Middle Eastern and Thai infusion and just incorporate those different styles together and create my own.
Yeah. So if I was a up and coming chef, you want me to apprentice under someone, right?
Yeah, well, it's a good thing. And then you can apprentice under me, but it's not to get frustrated because, like I say, every chef has their own technique and their style and their way of doing things, and they expect you to do it that way. So when you go to work for another one, it's being able to adapt to another chef's style, but keeping hold of that last one also.
Okay. And so you work out of the San Antonio area, and you said you would do up to 150-mile radius, right?
Yes, I have a 150-mile radius on my website that I cater to.
And you will cater for two and up to 250. Is that what you told me? Two to 300.
Yep. And I've done just those numbers.
Wow.
So it could be two people today and 300 tomorrow.
And you do parties and whatever the situation. Like you
Weddings,
saw some,
reunions, business functions, doctors, lawyers.
do you have any fun stories for us? I mean, what has been the most rewarding?
Uh, well, there was one though that I've done personal chef for a few of the Spurs players, and the one gentleman that I just did an event for, he's probably 6'9", 6'10", and when I got done with the function, I'm just 5'5", 5'6". The guy was like, "Charles, the world wasn't ready for a 6-foot version of you, was it?" And I'm like, "I don't think so."
That's funny. 5'5". You probably look straight up at him, huh? So do you get called on by celebrities much?
Not much, but when I do, it's worthwhile.
Okay.
Definitely worthwhile. And that's another thing, being in this industry, you can there's no set, you know, uh environment. You can be wherever you choose to be with it.
You do soul food, right?
I do whatever my client wants.
Really? Even if you have no experience doing it?
You know, I'll go home and I'll cook that dish once, and when I had a doctor that was from India, and I catered to his office Monday through Friday, and he just was making mention of this Indian dish that he really likes. And I went home and researched it that night, and 2 days later, I brought it to him, and he was like taking pictures and videos, sending to his wife, and he was like, "This is amazing." And so, yeah, I, I give me a day to do some research on it, and you're gonna get what you asked for.
Okay. Okay. Well, the reason why we have Passion Speak is so that we can highlight people's what they're passionate about, what they love doing, and give them an opportunity to express themselves, and also maybe encourage some other people who are thinking about doing exactly what you're doing, or encourage some other people to do something like what you're doing, and not exactly, maybe their own version of it, or maybe it strikes a passion in them. That's the hope, in addition to acknowledging you and your excellence. So I really appreciate your time. Is there any thoughts you want to leave us with?
It's my pleasure. I also work with several different nonprofit organizations uh, with inner city kids, instilling healthy eating habits, and with wounded veterans. So there's just so much, and those are all instructional classes and a way of me giving back that I love doing.
Oh, that's worth hearing. And I know some people who are interested in pursuing the arts, culinary arts. So I'm going to tell them definitely they got to make sure they tap in. I don't think they were available today, but they got to make sure they tap in so they can get some encouragement.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
well, thank you for your time. I'm not going to keep you. It looks like your sun is setting through your
Yes.
window to start
I'm
to cast.
sorry.
We know what
I'm
time it
sorry.
is in your area. It's about time for the sun to start setting. So,
Yes.
but
Thank you so
thank you.
much.
One other comment. Mama CC says, "What an awesome skill." Oh, she said it is an awesome skill. Yeah, she's a good cook too.
Uh,
So
Thank
thank
you.
you,
I
CC.
appreciate it.
All right, and thank you for your time, and thank you all for watching. I appreciate you guys chiming in. This has been Passion Speak, and if you haven't, you can feel free to share this video or go to our YouTube and like it, and that would help us. Um, and so Passion Speak, where we give those who the passion a platform to speak. And nice evenings.
Thank you, cuz. I appreciate it.
All right.